Though Twitch isn't. Yeah, Twitch is now showing us as live. Pause that, keep the chat on. Hello and welcome to some more League of Legends 1v1 tournament streaming. I'm your host as usual, Nick RP Green, but today I'm joined by my good friend.
Since when are we friends? And I'm Theo, by the way. I'm the French guy that I'll be co-casting.
Ah, apparently we're not friends. Well, touche.
No, you've never told me that.
Fine. I don't want to be your friend anyway. Anyway, they are currently
I
in...
thought it was just a one-night stand.
No, that was you and Tom, mate. That was you and Tom. So we are definitely...
No, this shit has been recorded on stream, great.
Okay, so we are live. We are about to watch Game 2 of Milo Says Relax versus Gabrijel, which Gabrijel's name is... I'm not actually sure if Gabrijel's in my friends list at the moment, but we'll find out in a minute. It's all good. I can tell you that in Game 1, Milo played as Xin Zhao and he beat Gabrijel playing Gangplank. So Milo goes into this game 1-0 up. So they are now in game, so we have 3 minutes to wait.
And apparently
Toothless Hawkins. So yeah, we're definitely seeing Toothless Hawkins as that's Gabrijel as Zed, and Milo Says Relax, that's Milo obviously playing as Fiora. So both opting for some AD champions. I had a request last time to have a look at sort of runes and masteries, and now that I've worked out how to do that because of this handy thing up here. So let's have a look first at Milo Says Relax, running what he calls his standard AD carry build. So we've got, I don't know whether you probably can't see that very well, but I will explain them all. That's attack damage marks, lifesteal quintessences, flat armor seals, and flat magic resist glyphs. And obviously those magic resist glyphs aren't really going to do much.
Flat magic resist glyphs. But the difference is that Gabrijel is running AD quints and up in marks, whereas Milo is running AD marks and lifesteal quints.
So we should find that Milo has a bit more sustain, but Zed is going to hurt a lot harder.
Especially considering that Zed hurts a lot due to his abilities. And since he has barrier, I think we could definitely see him winning a straight-up exchange, even early game. Even with Fiora being so good at dueling, I think this with barrier and that would be set up. First he'll be able to poke Milo more, and then Milo just has flash and some light, so I'm not sure how he'll handle himself in 1v1s.
Well, yeah, we will. We'll just have to wait and see. Milo opting for 2190. I would assume that Gabrijel is using the same. Let's just have a quick look at his profile. Runes, as we've already discussed, the attack damage mark, the quints, and the armor pen marks, along with the armor seals and flat magic resist glyphs. Obviously the flat magic resist glyphs aren't really going to be helpful in this game, as both of them deal just physical damage. However, not everyone has 10 or 20 rune pages to go to, so that's understandable. Interestingly, we see that 2190 on Toothless Hawkins, he's taken that 1 point in destruction, which has increased his damages to turrets. Whether that means he's going to be going for a turret victory, I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Though that will help him, but obviously taking those extra points in the cooldown reduction due to him being a bit more of a caster rather than an auto attacker. Okay, so the game is about to start.
Just one last note before we jump into this game. I actually noticed that Toothless Hawkins didn't take the point for improved barrier. So I think that this is just his generic Flash Ignites AD mid page, and that he hasn't modified it particularly for that matchup, as he didn't know really against.
There we go. It is working. Ah, it's nice to see a skin. So Shockblade Z. So, and Night Raven Fiora. I'd forgotten that Milo owned that skin. So, both going into it with champions that one can assume they're both pretty confident with. If they own skins for them, you usually suspect that they will have played them quite a bit. Flash Ignite over Ignite Barrier. These two summoner spells seem to be these three summoner spells rather seem to be the most popular so far in the games that I've seen. I've played against some teleports.
I've seen him play against some exhaust as well.
I've seen exhaust. I've seen exhaust more being played in the 2v2 tournament. Because obviously then you've got two summoner spells to put down on them along with your flash or your barrier. So I would certainly suspect that this is going to be a first blood game. It is going to be who's going to get that first blood. Both being melee, they may struggle for CS, and they're not really going to be able to poke down the towers unless they get in melee range of them. So I do think we're going to see someone getting the first blood. Okay, so we're in. They're actually 1 minute in already. I apologise for the choppiness of it, but it does improve before it actually starts. Just takes a few seconds. There we go. That's what you get when you play with talk internet.
Well, at least they haven't started farming or done anything.
No, as I've said in previous casts, in the 1v1s you don't tend to see them going into the brushes sort of around here or here, just because then you're just getting into a 1v1 duel straight away and you haven't been poking each other. Whereas in the 2v2s, particularly if you've got a lot of range, then you can be poking away and catching people out. And so the game begins. So what can we, Theo? What can we say about the matchup here?
Well, the matchup for me is that definitely has the advantage because of his poke and his AD scaling abilities. But if Milo plays it right, he will have more sustain. Like he just parried the Z hits.
You can already.
He'll have to count on this to win trades.
You can already see the difference in damage that they've taken just on that small trade there.
Well, yeah, Milo did take some minion damage afterwards because he basically relied on auto attacks, and auto attacks do give you minion aggro.
They do indeed.
But Milo has a lot more sustain than Gabrijel right now.
Interestingly, both of them opting to start with different items. Milo's gone with the cloth 5 start, whereas Gabrijel has started with the longsword pots. Oh, and is this going to be first blood? No, Milo's not going to commit. The ignite's been dropped, but yes, he has backed down. But
I think that might have been a misclick because he might have used his 2 dashes at once, and if he saved one, he definitely could have at least popped Gabriel's barrier. And we see that now Gabriel's going back. Wise decision.
Gabrijel not popping either of his 2 summoner spells. His barrier and his ignite are both still up. But this is going to give Milo a decent opportunity to not only farm and CS, but thanks to those lifesteal quintessences, he's going to be able to sustain himself back up.
And apparently, Gabrijel noticed this because he decided to go straight for a vamp.
Yeah, his sustain's not going to be as high. And if we just look at 10% lifesteal 10% lifesteal on Vamp Scepter versus the 6% that you get from lifesteal quintessences. So we might find that Gabrijel has the slightly better sustain now, but Milo going in on the offensive once again, not getting off that parry.
It's when you max parry, you really want to actually pop it because it's damage you lose on other skills. Like the second most popular Fiora build is probably maxing your lunge, And usually max loans when you're against someone that either doesn't trade or doesn't auto-attack you. So I think that maxing riposte in that case is definitely wiser, but you just have to like choose the right moment to pop it. And as Gabrijel just decided to run away, not counter-attack,
Well,
the riposte ended up being wasted.
we can say that Milo is indeed maxing riposte, whereas Gabrijel does appear to be maxing Shadow Slash, which is his spinning E. An interesting decision. One would have thought with Milo being purely melee and not having any ranged abilities whatsoever, that Gabrijel might have been tempted to max the Q first, which is his, if I find out, his Razor Shuriken. Because I don't play either of these champions. And Milo going in on the offensive once again. Still getting off a good trade. Both champions.
We can see, however, that due to the low cooldown on Shadow Slash, if Gabrijel manages to get two of them off, the trades are pretty much even, despite his attack being blocked.
At the moment, we can see both of them finishing each trade on similar health. So it's just going to be who's going to get that off. And we've got to remember, of course, that Gabrijel does still have Ignite up, whilst Milo still has another 30 seconds.
Milo hits level 6 first.
Milo has hit lip.
Gabrijel is reasonably close.
Switch to Gabrijel for... Oh, and Milo's off on the offensive again, but he's not going to tower dive him. That's probably a wise decision. And again, that's the riposte not procced once again. This is the problem that Milo's got playing against an AD caster as opposed to an AD auto attacker. Oh, and another offensive once again. Milo is winning the trades, but now he's going to be low on mana, and this is where Zed's going to have a slight advantage being an energy-based champion.
He doesn't have enough mana to ult.
He doesn't now. He does now, but that's all he's going to be able to get off. So unless he waits around for his mana to come back up, Gabrijel is going to have a slight advantage with the poke. Currently CS, despite Milo already sending Gabrijel back, Gabrijel is ahead on CS, and Milo's gone in once again, drops the Ignite, but who is going to get there first? Oh! Very close, but the tower dive is unsuccessful.
Milo apparently not accounting for the barrier.
The barrier hadn't been used in the previous engage, the
And
Ignite hadn't been used in the previous engage. And
I don't know if you've got chat up on your stream, Nick.
I have,
but
yes.
Milo just said in chat that apparently was because he mismanaged his mana.
he mismanaged his
Which
mana.
was what we were talking earlier, so...
Unfortunately, the game over screen, the game over messages come up, so I can't go back and watch that again. So that was game 2. That's now 1-1 between the pair of them. So we should have a third game to go to. Whether that game has started yet,
apparently it hasn't.
Apparently it hasn't. So we can see that Toothless Hawkins is currently creating a custom game. So hopefully in a second we should be able to join them in Champion Select. So 1-1 now, so it's still all to play for. Milo is certainly going to be thinking more about keeping an eye on that barrier in this last game.
And on the mana bar.
Maybe tempted to think more about mana. Milo does play a few manaless champs, but probably not. Well, I say that, it's pretty much just Katarina, and I can't see him playing Katarina in this next game if he knows that he's been up against a Gangplank and a Zed. So just waiting for... What did you make of both players' performances there, Theo?
Well, it saddens me a bit that the game ended on a misplay, but beforehand, both players seemed evenly matched, and I think if Milo could have gotten his ult off, that 1v1 might have ended very differently. He took 3 tower shots for free.
Yeah, I do think that if Milo had gotten the ult off, not only would he would have missed a lot of the tower shots, he would have missed a lot of Zed's burst as well. and Zed may not have been able to get the ignite off on him, so it may have turned the time slightly. But unfortunately, one small mistake there from Milo not keeping an eye on his mana has cost him the game. Let's just have a quick check and see where we are at the moment. Still creating a custom game, so we will be with them shortly when they are ready. Going through their picks and bans at the moment. I don't know what the picks and bans are. Neither of them have come forward to inform me of them straight away, but I think we can probably assume that it's the usual suspects. No Caitlyn and no Riven seems to be the most popular bans for the tournament so far. Let's have a look at some of the comments that we're getting. 14 people watching now. I think that's the most one of these streams has ever had. We welcome a friend from Gaming Debate, Matt Hadfield. Hi, it's been a while. Hope Gaming Debate is going well. Stop trying to make me come back and be a reviewer or a moderator or whatever it is you want me to do. I do have the time, but I can't be bothered. I'm too busy doing this. So let's have a look at some of the comments anyway. Robin90 saying tit a lot. Yeah, I wonder who he's talking about. I can see now that Milo is in Champion Select. I'm not able to spectate until it starts. And Prezi Ham, raise your dongers. Here we go with the raise your dongers. RachBear27 asking you, Theo, if you could just speak French instead. Give us a bit of lol in French.
Bit of lol in French. I'll wait until we're actually in the game for that.
Sorreless Joe asking where is the donga, to which both Preziham and RJ Walsh and now Crazy Fafa have replied. Wait, Crazy Fafa, that's you, Theo.
That's not me.
Is it not? I thought that was you. Aren't you Crazy Fafa? Yeah, you are. What are you talking about, fool?
Also, since I'm your co-caster now, can I get mod privileges on your stream?
I was just actually having a look into how that works. Okay, they are back in game.
And Milo going for Fury again.
Milo choosing Fury again, going to test his luck once again. And Toothless Hawkins opting to play Shen. Now that's interesting.
Let's have a look at Shen first with Runes and Masteries. Shen apparently going for AD, Runes and Masteries.
If I can find it. There we go. View profile.
Same setup as last game. With armor, magic resists, attack damage coincidence, armor pen marks.
Apparently my view profile button now isn't working. Why am I not surprised at this client anymore? Oh, I can view Milo's profile apparently. Okay, I'll have a look at Milo's profile then. Though we can assume that Milo's going to take the same runes and masteries as before. And we'd be right. Not changing any of his runes and masteries.
Gabrijel actually went for exactly the same runes and masteries as well.
As his previous game as
Zed.
So playing a rather aggressive Shen. This will be very interesting to see. I will have one more try at clicking. No. Oh, no, yeah, it is going to show me Toothless Hawkins runes and masteries. So, yeah, as confirmed by Theo there, taking armor pen marks and attack damage quintessences, as well as the 2190. So, Shen.
I think the Shen pick is basically saying, I'm going to play my third game safely, and I will just farm.
Shen does have...
Not force me out of lane, I will just farm.
Again, going with an energy champion, knowing that Milo made that mistake on his mana last time, so he's not gonna worry about it himself and just keep taking energy champions. Shen's key strike obviously is going to make it easy for him to farm on the tower if necessary, or just help him farm in general. So perhaps you're right, we might see Shen trying to play for the farm game. But don't think we've seen Shen yet this tournament. I've done all the data mining from every game so far, and I haven't had to write Shen's name down once. One disadvantage, of course, taking Shen is that he doesn't really have an ultimate in a 1v1. He does, once he hits 6, he only has 3 abilities because he's got no one to ultimate to. So an oversight, maybe not. Maybe he does know exactly what he's doing, but we'll have to wait and see. So their game is now definitely underway. Obviously, we are 3 minutes behind. And Warlord Shen and Night Raven Fiora. I think we both own that Shen skin, don't we, Theo?
No, I actually don't.
Don't you? Do you just own...
I have Blood Moon Shen.
Oh, you have Blood Moon, don't you? I can't remember who else it is who has Warlord. I have Warlord and Yellow Jacket. I do love a Scorpion. Having a look whilst we're... Actually, the loading process is nearly over. And so we'll be going into the game very shortly. Assuming it doesn't bug out. Anytime today, League of Legends. There we go. So once again, just
on the League of Legends stream, I thought it would be appropriate to advertise this new game I'm launching. It's called Dota 2. It's got very good heroes.
Again, apologies for the lag at the very start, but it will clear up before any action actually happens. There we go. So this time...
I don't know. I don't know if Gabrijel is actually serious or not when he says that he misclicked and wanted to pick Severe.
He misclicked and wanted to pick Severe.
That's what he's saying.
They are right next to each other.
They're talking about restarts. And Gabrijel is offering to play anyways, as it's his fault.
Ah. How are you finding this out?
Well, the game loaded for me.
Yeah, the game's
and
loaded.
Apparently they're gonna play this out.
The game's loaded for me as well, but I don't get all chat. Do I have all chat disabled?
You should enable this. Enable it then.
I thought I did have it enabled. Where would it be? More options?
And they will definitely
Show... Ah, yeah. Show all chat. Well, apparently showing all chat in spectator mode is a separate option from showing all chat in a normal game. So...
Yep.
Unfortunately, I can't see those messages, but... Oh well, in future we'll have all chat enabled. A different item start this time. Milo's starting with the Doran's Blade, so he's going to have that extra sustain on top of his 6% lifesteal from those quintessences. And Gabrijel starting Cloth 5. Clearly that misclick is making him make different decisions on what he would normally do. As he did go very aggressive in the last one.
He has AD runes and RPen.
Now we have to remember, of course, that this is the losers bracket. Both of these, well, I say both of these players lost their previous games. Gabrijel actually lost by default as he was unable to play his match in time. So whoever loses this game is knocked out and will not take any further participation in the tournament.
So pretty high stakes, isn't it?
High stakes for this final game in the 1v1. Milo taking a tower shot there.
A turret shot.
But at the moment, both players a little bit of harass, but overall mainly quite passive from both of them. Milo pushing the minions up, trying to make it difficult for Shen to farm.
Mais on peut voir que le fait que Shen soit poussé jusqu'à sa tourelle, il arrive quand même à farm mieux que Milo.
And the English translation?
Yeah, despite Shen being pushed to his tower, he's actually out-farming Milo by a few CS.
There you have it. League of Legends commentary in French. I hope you're satisfied. And Milo going in on the offensive. He does get that parry off. And that's a lot of damage put down onto Toothless Hawkins.
So still hasn't used a single one of his potions.
He hasn't yet. Still, all 5 potions are available to him.
Hopefully, he's not just forgotten about.
And Milo going on the offensive once again, but he's not going to get that parry off.
I've noticed something about Milo when he's trading as Fiora. He's choosing to use the 2 stacks of lunge instantly every time he trades, instead of using them for burst rather than for keeping on to someone. I gotta say, I don't really understand that decision, seeing as he's not maxing lunge.
Once he's on top of them, you would have thought auto attacking or just auto attacking would be enough, and then using the lunge to stick to them when they try to escape. Particularly in this situation.
Well.
Particularly in this situation, his trades are going better than Gabrijel's trades are. Neither of them popped any of their summoner spells. Toothless Hawkins still not popping either of those potions despite being down to 2/3 health. Milo now trying to bully him out of taking any more CS.
We can see that sustain definitely doing work for Milo.
Yeah, taking that, and another offensive once again, but he's again not going to get that parry off as Toothless Hawkins isn't going to attack him back, which is probably sensible, because he's already seen...
E as well. That's a lot of mana wasted.
Both champions nearly reaching level 6. Shen is nearly 2/3 of the way there. Milo probably needs one more minion in order to reach level 6. And of course Shen's ultimate doesn't really do anything for him. Well, it doesn't do anything for him, he can't use it. Toothless Hawkins is finally popping one of those health pots. Both champions hitting 6.
Right now is that Milo doesn't have enough mana for a full combo. Well, now he does, but he just barely, so if he ever tries to go for an offensive again,
he can't.
And then ends up backing out, he might get tricked into thinking he has enough mana, and Toothless Hawkins actually is killing his ultimate.
He did, yes, and you are correct, he has actually taken a point in his ultimate, despite him not being able to use it. Milo going in for the offensive once again, but once again using that parry, but no... By now he should have realised really that his parry is not going to do anything for him, because Toothless Hawkins is just going to faint out of the way. And it is wasting him quite a lot of mana. Going in on the offensive again, a few auto attacks. Just auto attacking this time, not using any mana. Maybe he's starting to realise. Milo now slightly ahead on CS thanks to him being able to bully Shen away from his farm. And we're gonna Milo just auto attacking again. Milo. See, the interesting thing is Milo is still opting to max parlay here. Sorry, not parlay, riposte.
Riposte.
I don't know why I call it parlay. Milo going on the offensive again, but not going to be able to do much there. Shen maxing the key strike, which does seem sensible, is he's really going to be using it to farm.
Yeah, we can see that Milo's really just hovering about the thresholds on using all of his abilities, which is 265 mana. He has to use everything.
It's still very unusual that he is choosing to max riposte despite it not having had much use. I think Shen may have procced it once so far this game. Milo taking another tower shot.
To be honest, and
there goes the taunt under the tower. That's a couple of tower shots, but Shen not in a position really to be able to follow up and do much. Even at that stage, Milo would just be able to ult him and probably take the damage. So Toothless Hawkins decided, no, he's changed his mind, he's not going to be going back, he's going to come straight back in and carry on getting that CS. Milo very much ahead on the CS now, 62 to 56. And there's the taunt once again, trying to pull him into the tower and getting Milo to take those tower shots. Only going to take the one though. So what do you think at this point? Do we think it's going to go down to CS, or do you think there is going to be that one big fight?
Well, knowing Milo, I think that at some point he'll get bored. But I'm really hoping that he doesn't, and that he just presses his advantage in farm.
And there's another exchange. Again, Milo wasting mana using that riposte that doesn't...
He's still above the threshold now, so...
As you know more about Fiora than I do, does the mana cost go up when you max riposte?
I think it stays at 45.
I can tell you, at rank 4 it's currently 45. I'll check again when Milo ranks up to rank 5. Which, if he continues... And another offensive once again. This time Toothless Hawkins choosing to start. But
taking very little damage.
And there's the Ignite. What's going to happen? Milo double lunge.
Blocking most of the damage.
And both players are going to make it out on reasonably small health, but both of them opting to keep around. Toothless Hawkins has now used his last pot, but Milo only has the sustain from his Doran's Blade.
He's actually got 3 pots running right now.
And there goes the offensive once again. This is going to be close, and there's first blood.
And first blood goes down.
And that is the end. Milo Pilkington stays on. Gabrijel is knocked out of the tournament. That's the end of his 1v1 tournament.
And there goes the game.
So, if we can believe, if we are to believe what we were led to believe at the start of the game, one misclick has unfortunately cost Gabrijel the tournament. But oh well, it was an interesting game nonetheless. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring you the first game as we weren't informed quickly enough that it was going to be occurring. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Theo, for joining me in this co-cast. It's made life a little bit easier. I haven't had to talk for quite as long. Only sort of half the time, 2/3 of the time. Thank you all in the chat for saying stuff to each other. I'm never going to be able to keep up with it all. And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.